Alright, that's me, Chris from MicroPunks. I don't really like doing social media stuff with me in it particularly. I'm always a bit conscious that I'm going to do something stupid or I'm going to say the wrong thing, and I also don't like the sound of my own voice being played back to me. So doing voiceover stuff's particularly painful. As small businesses, we're often coerced into this relationship with social media where we are creating content just to try and bring in more sales, and I'd like this, to try and have a more creative approach and maybe make some videos that are useful to people. So in this video, I'm going to go through some tools that I use to pre-scout for wild mushrooms before I even leave the house. And I hope you find them useful. I'm about to do a thumbs up to a turd. There we go. I think there might be another one coming. Yeah, there is another one coming as well. There you go. I think that's the last thumbs up I do to him. I'm going to thumbs up to a branch as well. Anyway, today's video is going to be using the following tools. We're going to be using the iNaturalist app, which is on iOS, Android, and also your web browser. And we're also going to be using the Ordnance Survey app as well. So for those of you who aren't familiar with iNaturalist, it's an app that effectively allows you to upload photos of plants, animals, fungi, any species, and a wider community will help you identify what you're looking at. It's great from a scientific perspective as well. It shows the distribution of different species across the world, and it has all sorts of really cool scientific applications. Okay, so we're going to start off by downloading the iNaturalist app. If you go to the App Store in either iOS or Android, you're going to see probably iNaturalist and iNaturalist Classic. We're going to go with iNaturalist, the new app. Once you've opened that, you don't need to register, it seems now, to use the Explore feature, which is quite cool. So you can have a look about, see what's in your local area without having to pass over any data or create an account. Obviously, if you want to submit your own observations for other people to help you with IDs, you're going to need to register. And I do recommend getting an account and actually contributing to the community. It's cool to kind of document what's in your area. And as you sort of become better at identifying mushrooms, hopefully you can help other people out with IDs as well. So initially we're presented with a view of, so we're going to zoom in a bit into the UK. We're going to kind of find my rough local area. I'm not going to zoom in on my house because I don't want you to know where I live, because that would just be mental. Obviously we're still, we're showing all organisms. So in the top right hand corner, I'm going to filter the taxa by fungi. So you can either tap the icon for mushroom, and that shows everything under Kingdom Fungi. And if you scroll down, at the moment we're showing everything worldwide. So I'm going to edit the location, and I'm actually going to say Gloucestershire. So this is going to show me a good view of Gloucestershire. So it's showing sort by date and uploaded. So this will show, this is going to show you a good list of the latest mushrooms that have been found in your local area. And we'll go into quality grade later on when we do a sort of expanded version of this video, just to go through some of the features of iNaturalist. So yeah, we're going to apply the filter. And obviously this shows you a big cloud of observations that have been found. The darker red, the more species that are found. And as we start to zoom in, you'll actually see that it will become a bit more apparent that that these observations are localized in certain areas. So you can kind of find stuff that's nearby you. You could find like a local woodland on your map. And so here we got Daneway, which is over in sort of Stroud, Cirencester way. This is a really good place. I know a lot of foraging walks happen there. It's another, what we're effectively looking at is just the density of observations. Now this is my local woodland that I frequent quite often. This is the Cotswold Way. So really sort of dense woodland. Loads of ancient beech trees there. It's a really good species rich environment. So now we're kind of zoomed in on an area. What I like to do is just redo the search. There's a big button here that says redo search in map area. So you can kind of like crop the area that you want to explore and then redo the search, and it will just refresh and make sure that there's all the observations that should be in that view. And in the bottom left hand corner we've got the options. Obviously it's currently in a map view. There's an option to view tiles. which will show the mushroom, just photos of tiles. And then there's a list view as well, which is more useful. It kind of shows the name of the mushroom, the date when it was found, so you can actually see whether it's a recent thing or, you know, we've actually got a golden chanterelle that's showing up recently, so from just a couple of days ago. And what people do sometimes do is, you know, when it's a choice edible mushroom or something that has rarity to it, you know, especially when, you know, certain things are like closely guarded secrets by the food foraging community, you know, they often will obscure the observation. So what you may find is when you click into certain mushroom observations, there's no pinpoint marker. It's actually just a broad circle marker, which indicates that it's, you know, somewhere in a like a 2 or 3 kilometer radius, I think. So it's you know, it kind of stops the people from finding potentially, you know, other people's food spots, I guess. So yeah, this is a really useful view. It just basically lets you look through things. Obviously, if you're looking for a specific mushroom and you know the name of it, this app's really good with common names as well. So you could put chanterelle in here and it will find stuff. You could put, let's go for, I'm going to change it from the filter from being everything. Press edit and I'm going to go, let's go Devil's Bolete. Devil's Bolete. And this is a relatively rare mushroom. You know, I mean, it's not rare, but it's uncommon. It's mostly found on chalky soils, and obviously, you know, I say obviously, Cotswold Way is where Cotswold stone is from, so it's a really limestone-rich area, and we've got an observation in Cranham. So this is all very limestoney soil, and it's got one observation there. So if you wanted to go out and find this mushroom for the first time, and this is something you're interested in observing for yourself, you can literally use the app to, you know, to find one of these species, or to start to get a picture of what sort of environment the mushroom would be found in. So we're going to go back to the main view. So we're going to tap into this observation, and this is actually one of my observations, and it was found by my friend Sam and Emma. Yeah, it looked like a pile of rocks in a car park, and it was a big pile of Rubroboletus satanus. I'm going to go into why using scientific names is better than using common names like Devil's Bolete at some point as well in a different video. So yeah, using this app is a really handy tool for when you're traveling to a new location. Maybe you're going on a holiday and you want to scout out around your hotel and look at the surrounding areas to see what mushrooms are around. Yeah, it's a cool tool. Okay, so we've worked out where Barry's chanterelle patch is on iNaturalist, and we're swooping in now to steal his mushrooms before he arrives. Basically, we've got a nice map of mushroom observations, and you know, now we want to kind of have a little look at the OS maps. OS maps are only available in the UK on iOS and Android. And some of these, I think this overlay specifically, I think it cost about 40 quid a year. But it's really useful if you're out in the countryside a lot as well. Like, it's really good for footpaths, and this specific overlay, yeah, it tells you pretty much everything you want to know about the environment that you're in regards to like the topography of the area. So this is Buckholt Wood, this is Cranham, this is a place that I go to loads. This is the Cotswold Way that we looked at earlier. So the dark sort of green lines, the dash lines are footpaths, and you can see the Cotswold Way there. And the really cool thing about this app is it actually shows the types of woodland as well. So you can see icons for broadleaf, and then you got the little Christmas tree icons on the border. So just at the top of the map there, you got the Christmas tree icons, and that shows a sort of change to coniferous woodland. And this is really handy. Obviously, the more time you spend studying fungi, the more you learn about mycorrhizal relationships and the fact that certain mushrooms are associated with certain types of trees. And you can also use this obviously to find bodies of water and streams and things like that. So you can work out where, you know, sort of damper areas are within woodland. Lastly, the thing, you know, that I often do when if I'm looking for somewhere in a specific area, so I'm traveling somewhere in the UK, I'll look on, you know, National Trust. I will look at for ancient woodlands. Really, the older the woodlands, the more species rich often. A lot of the forests in the UK are managed and coppiced forests, so you're often kind of restricted on the sort of mushroom species and the richness of biodiversity that you're going to come into contact with. And there's Forest of Dean. Who doesn't love Forest of Dean? Right, that's it anyway. I hope you found it useful. And if you didn't, I'm sorry that you got to the end of the video and, you know, that you stuck around for this long. So if you don't know us already, we run a mycology supply business based in the UK. We're at mycopunks.com. So check us out if you get a chance. We're at mycopunks on Instagram and all the social things as well. Probably how you watch this video. So anyway, take it easy. Love you, bye.